Keto breadsticks, here we go. It's great. This tastes like a whole wheat bread. You could fool people into thinking this was some type of artisan whole wheat bread, you know, using a few different grains. That's sort of the texture and feel that I get in here. Hey guys, it's the Keto King here, and today we're going to be making some keto breadsticks. Now I have a ton of keto bread recipes on this channel, so I'll put a link to that playlist right up there, so go check out all of those. I've got some amazing keto bread recipes there. These keto breadsticks are just too easy to make, come out wonderfully, and will completely satisfy that bread craving that we know is very difficult to kick in a keto lifestyle. And the ingredients you'll need for these epic keto breadsticks are some almond flour or almond meal, butter, some salt, psyllium husks, these are whole psyllium husk, some Italian spice blend, flaxseed meal, Parmesan cheese, eggs, shredded coconut, baking powder, and some apple cider vinegar. That's it for the entire keto breadsticks recipe. Let's get to these keto breadsticks. So this keto breadsticks recipe comes from a book called Low Carb is Lacquer, and it is written by Ina Reniesa. Not sure how widely available this book is outside of South Africa, but it's got some fantastic recipes in there. So grab yourself a big mixing bowl. We're gonna add in our dry ingredients. So we're starting off with 1.5 cups of almond flour. Almond meal should work perfectly fine in here. This particular one is the almond flour and it's blanched, which just means that the outer coating has been removed, so it's a lighter color. But then we're going to use 1/2 cup of flaxseed meal. I used whole flax seeds, simply pop them in my blender and ground them up as fine as possible, and you end up with flaxseed meal like this. So add that 1/2 cup of flaxseed meal into your bowl. We're then going to add 2 heaped tablespoons of shredded coconut. It's also known as desiccated coconut, but just make sure you get the unsweetened kind because a lot of them do come sweetened. So get the unsweetened shredded coconut. We added in around 2 heaped tablespoons worth, 5 tablespoons of psyllium husk. Now this is the whole psyllium husk, not the psyllium husk powder. And then we've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder and also 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which I've just mixed in this one container, and add that. And just give that a mix to fully incorporate all of the ingredients, and particularly to make sure that the psyllium husk is evenly distributed throughout these dry ingredients. And put your dry ingredients aside and then grab yourself another container, and we're going to crack in 4 eggs. And grab yourself a whisk and just whisk those eggs a little bit. And then we're going to add 2.5 tablespoons worth of apple cider vinegar into the eggs, and one more quick mix. And so now is the time to preheat your oven to 355 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, and while your oven is heating up, we're going to grab 3 tablespoons of butter here, melt that in the microwave, and then we're going to use any type of spice blend that you have. I've got an Italian spice blend here, and I'm just going to pour in roughly around a tablespoon worth of spices into this melted butter. Give that a stir. Okay, and put that aside. And then we're going to grab our liquid ingredients here, and we're going to pour this into the dry ingredients. Give that a good mix together. And then we're going to use 1 cup of boiling water, which we're going to pour in here. And now I'm measuring this on my food measuring scale, which is underneath this bowl. There we go. And we're trying to whip this up into a somewhat fluffy looking batter. And then you're going to grab yourself some baking trays, which I've already pre-greased. I just used some non-stick spray and sprayed it over both of these. As time is going, this psyllium husk is doing its magic and making this more into a batter-like consistency. But we're really not waiting for that to happen. Let's just get going on this. And we're going to create our breadsticks here. So divide them into as many or as few breadsticks as you'd like. I'm going to try and do around about 8 here. Alright, and after a bit of finesse, and I recommend using a spatula for this, this is what it looks like. I've got 8 of these keto breadsticks here. Then grab your melted butter that we set aside earlier with the herbs in it, and then you're just going to lightly brush across the top with this butter and herb mix. And then for the final touch, we're just going to use some Parmesan cheese and just grate that lightly over the top of each of these keto breadsticks. Parmesan cheese is optional, but I highly recommend it. And then we're going to pop this in our preheated oven at 355 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 to 30 minutes. And you end up with some keto breadsticks like this. What I did to just tweak it for a little bit more aesthetic appearance is I put some grated cheese on top there and just popped it back in the oven for a minute or two, and it looks fantastic. So just from looking at it, I see what I should have done is made these breadsticks a little smaller. Now you can see they're about 1 or 2 finger sizes big, but I think the best ones are these ones that are thinner, more about 1.5 finger size piece, right? It cooked a little bit more. The smaller ones took around 30 minutes. The bigger ones I had to do for almost up to 40 minutes. So I definitely recommend doing them this size. As you can see at the bottom, we've got a beautiful crunch on the outside there. And let's give this a taste test. Keto breadsticks, here we go. Now that's pretty darn good. Now, it's nice with that golden color and that slightly harder texture at the bottom of this keto breadstick. Gives it a nice crunch when you eat it. But the soft and inner inside is still soft like a bread should be. It is a breadstick, right? The cheese on the top, I definitely recommend this. It's definitely a deal clincher. You do get the flavor from there. And of course, you taste the Parmesan cheese in there too. And a bit of that herbs that I put on top. For those of you that like garlic butter spread on top would be fantastic for you. Let me give it a quick taste again. It's great. This tastes like a whole wheat bread. You could fool people into thinking this was some type of artisan whole wheat bread, you know, using a few different grains. That's sort of the texture and feel that I get in here. And for the bigger ones here that I just had a quick test of, the bigger ones are less crunchy because you get less of that golden color at the bottom. Also more bread-like texture. It's slightly softer in the middle as well. So again, it just depends what you want, what size you want. My recommendation would be to do about maybe 12 of these. Make them smaller, about 1 to 1.5 finger size in width. Make them as long as possible. I think that would make the best keto breadsticks in my opinion. Of course, as always guys, macros and full ingredients lists and quantities are in the description box below, so go check that out. I do put a lot of effort and time into putting that all out there in the description box. Also, I have links where you can buy all of the products that I use in my videos on Amazon, so check out the description box for those Amazon links as well. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy these keto breadsticks, and of course, talk to me in the comments. You know I love chatting to you guys, and of course, keep it keto.